I remember a story of a lady who is in a relationship with a guy, and because the communication was not even there, the next thing that the guy had was an invitation card to her wedding, like wedding of your own girlfriend though. Like is somehow complicated, and not just a girlfriend, somebody that you're planning marriage with is now inviting you for her own wedding. And she's not just inviting you, she's already pregnant for another person. Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we'll be talking about a very important aspect of personal development, which has to do with our relationship with people. Just from the title, you already know we are talking about toxic relationship, but I needed to drop this first information. It is not only boyfriend, girlfriend, male, female, emotional, romantic relationship that can be toxic. You can be in a toxic relationship even with your friends, with your parents, co-workers, colleagues at work, employer, employees, with your boss. Like, you can be absolutely in a toxic relationship with anybody. Do you understand? Even with your neighbors at work. As far as you are relating with that person in the basis of, oh, I know you, we are interacting, it is you that knows whether you want to stay glued to that relationship or shift yourself or disconnect yourself from it, or if it is worth finding a way out. Do you understand? Now, I will be using the word toxin to bring an explanation here. Toxin is a very poisonous substance, and in that same way, that is how poisonous toxic relationship can be in your life and even in the life of those that you are relating with, if you are the culprit here. Yes, because I so much love looking at it from two sides, because it is a two-way thing. It's not all about people, it's also about you. What if I'm the one being toxic in this relationship? You should be able to think about it that way in order for you to find a way forward to help yourself and help the people around you, the people trying to work with you, the people trying to interact with you, the people trying to relate with you. Now, toxic relationship can make you feel sick, make you feel, oh, this is not me, I am not really myself, I am not comfortable. Okay, let's just dive into how you can identify if you are in a toxic relationship. The first thing we'll be using here as an identification is that if you are in a toxic relationship, the person, that is the other person or whoever, we are talking about just two people here, for instance, it can be more than, the other person will find it difficult to support you, to support the things that you do, to encourage you, feels like this thing you are doing is even causing pain to him or her, is not making that person to be happy. I've seen situations whereby husband and wife, the husband is angry that the wife is progressing in life, that the wife wants to travel. I've heard a story, for the Lord, I've heard a story whereby a man was asked to sign that the wife needs to travel outside for scholarship and the rest. From Nigeria, she needs to travel outside Nigeria. So the man said that how can he be here and the wife wants to travel outside before him? That how can he even be here? That he already feels angry that the wife has degree and he's a school dropout. But I don't understand. Were you not aware that she's furthering her education when you got married to her and all of that? But then you begin to see that these are some of the things that will make a relationship unhealthy. The woman will begin to feel scared. The woman will feel uncomfortable staying around the husband and the rest of them. Now, the second thing I want to talk about as a way for you to identify you are in a toxic relationship is being in an abusive relationship. And this is the one that is so common that people always see, and we can easily identify it by seeing it. It has a kind of 3 dimension I will be talking about today, which is physical abuse and verbal abuse. Yes, you will see a situation whereby somebody is forcing his or herself on the other party, even with or without the person's agreement, consent, whether it's okay for him or her. The person don't even want to know. Do you understand that kind of a thing? Yes. This means that this relationship is abusive. And being an abusive relationship means that it is very toxic. This is the highest order of toxicity. Like, this second point is really the highest of it all. Now, the other B part of it, we have talked about the sexual abuse. The B part of it is verbal abuse. In a situation whereby the man, the lady, maybe be it two ladies that are friends, they keep on abusing each other at a slightest opportunity. This one will tell the whole world all the secrets that the other one shared with her. Do you understand that kind of a thing? It has happened to many people. Then coming to maybe marriage or somebody you are planning to marry, at every slightest thing, the person will talk about all the things that you confided in him or her. This is to show you that this relationship is unhealthy for you. At this point, I want you to know that toxicity has different levels. Like, you cannot handle a particular type of toxicity with another type. Like, you cannot handle all of them with the same way, and you cannot handle all of them at the same level. There are ones that can easily be settled. There are ones that are very difficult to settle. So identifying that it's possible for you guys to still settle it is the point I want you to hold on at this stage. So when we are talking about this verbal, abusive, toxic relationship, you should note that you can be the victim and you can also be the culprit. So check it from two sides. Know when you are the one that is the problem, or know when you are the one facing the problem. Then know how best to settle it and handle it. Now, the C part of abusive relationship has to do with physical abuse, and this is the one that has caused the life of many people. You will see a situation whereby so person is beating the other person because he is angry. At the end of everything, you go and buy ice cream. You go and look for a way to apologize. You go and call your family people to come and apologize, And just like I've said before, these things have level of settlement. Do you understand? So we'll still get there. The third way for you to identify you are in a toxic relationship is bad communication. Most relationship that is unhealthy is the relationship that lacked communication. You are not able to express yourself. You're not able to know what is happening in the other person's life. I remember a story of a lady who is in a relationship with a guy, and because the communication was not even there, the next thing that the guy had was an invitation card to her wedding. Like, wedding of your own girlfriend though. Like, is somehow complicated. And not just a girlfriend, somebody that you're planning marriage with is now inviting you for her own wedding. And she's not just inviting you, she's already pregnant for another person. But had it been the communication is there is no gap in communication, you should be able to identify the changes that are going on in her life. And she, in turn, should be able to tell you, I'm beginning to feel distance from you. We don't talk well. I feel I am beginning to love another person. There is this kind of honest and genuine openness in that relationship. Another way for you to identify you are in a toxic relationship is when you are constantly unhappy, you are constantly sad, you are constantly anxious around the person that you are relating with, around your friend, around your colleagues at work, around even maybe your family member that you're supposed to be so free with. You feel so sad staying around that person. You are always anxious and the rest. So the next thing is for you to identify you're in a toxic relationship is when you feel unsafe, you feel belittled, you feel uncomfortable around that person. You always have this kind of feeling of, this is not me. You are not yourself. You are not just okay. You don't just seem comfortable around him or her. Do you understand? So the final thing I want to talk about in identifying a toxic relationship is when you always feel you are the one wrong every time. Like, something is wrong with me. I am the one always wrong. The other person is always right. Like, I've witnessed that kind of situation whereby you will be happy, or before you know what's happening, small thing, the lady that you call your friend will now start making you feel so bad. You begin to feel you are a wicked person. You begin to feel you are a sad person. You begin to feel you are not good enough, and you begin to generalize it to every other person. You are not just okay. You are not just, you begin to find all faults and blame everything on yourself, making you look like you don't know anything. you know so these are some of the ways for you to identify you are in a toxic relationship. Now I will be giving a list, about 25 list of toxic relationships, and like I will always encourage you, don't just look at the other person, check yourself also to know when you are the one being toxic. Do you understand? There are many types of toxic relationship. There are many things that when you see, you will know that, see, I'm in a toxic relationship. But then I will just be giving just 25 in the list. Okay, so let's go into it. These are types of toxic relationship. One, carefree kind of relationship. The other person don't even care, like carefree. I will not be giving so much details on them. I will just list them, and I believe you can pick the points of you being the one or checking another person that is the one. And when we get to the point of bringing a solution, you now know how best to bring the solution to it. Are we together? Now, I talked about carefree, resentful, stagnant, enabler, abusive, lying, competitive. That kind of, you are in a competition with with your spouse. Like, I've seen that kind of a situation whereby the husband is angry that the wife is doing well, the wife is angry that the husband is doing well, your friend is angry that you're doing well. Competition here and there. Oh, sorry, I said I'm not going to talk about it in much detail. Blaming, extremely jealous, narcissist, absolute perfectionist, insecure, domineering, gaslighting, passive, controlling, dishonest, codependent, temperamental, gossip, envious, manipulator, judgemental, twisted, and arrogant. So these are 25 types of toxic relationship. You can be the victim or you can be the culprit. Do you understand? Now, what is the way forward? What is the way forward? The first thing I would want to talk about today is, for you to settle a toxic relationship, you need lots of communication. You need lots of communication. Being able to communicate how you feel per time, letting the other person know, letting your mom know that, mommy, this thing that you said to me, I really do not like how you said it. Can you think about saying it this way next time? It makes me feel so uncomfortable around you. Looking for a way of interacting, communicating it. Say it to that person, how you feel, how best you think you guys can work on it and all. And the truth is that it takes two to do this. Sometimes some people might really not be good in this communication aspect. They don't even want to listen. They don't want to talk about it. But this is where building comes to play. That is why is an aspect of personal development. It is you that will decide to build yourself. It is you that will try to train yourself to communicate more. You are the one that should be willing to listen. You are the one that should be willing to say. It is not something that will fall as manna from heaven to you. It's something that you build yourself into. It is something that you feel like is not my thing, but you have to train yourself to start doing it. Do you understand? Now, apart from loss of communication, you also need honesty. You need honesty from both sides. And this is why I'm encouraging you. If you're in a relationship and you are seeing, or you have seen yourself in this kind of situation, I encourage you so much to share this video with that your friend, with that your colleague, with that person you want to a kind of keep the relationship with, because the truth is not all of them that you want to keep that relationship with. So now that you want to keep that relationship, it's good for you to let the person hear some of this truth, because it is in hearing that the person will begin to do better, understand that I can train myself to be honest, I can train myself to communicate more better, I can train myself to be this way, to be the other way. Do you understand? Now, the third thing is self-reflection. And that is why you will always keep hearing me say it is not about that person alone. It is about you. Check your own self. Are you the one that is making your relationship being toxic? Reflect. What are you not doing right? How best can you do it? What do you think you have to make out to be better? Do you understand? So look for a way of building yourself right from inside by reflecting. Just like the name, self-reflection is not Antonia's reflection. Like, it's not the other person that will reflect it for you. It is yourself that will reflect on yourself to know where you are getting it wrong and how best you can make it to be right. The next thing is, if you are the one being toxic in that relationship, try to learn how to listen more. Listen to the other person. Hear what they have to say, and then apologize where necessary. Don't always try to make your ego to be high. Like, do you know me? Do you know me? Do you know me? But those are the things that you have to bring down, because you are relating with another person from different background, different culture. Even if the person is in your family, both of you were not born the same. Even if you were born the same day, both of you cannot say you experienced exactly the same thing, because there are times that this person will have to go to this place alone or go to the other place alone, and some of these small encounters can change the person's orientation regarding one or two things. So you wouldn't say I know this one completely, and because of that my ego should just make me not to calm down. So if you are the one being toxic, you need to let your ego reduce it, like bring it down as much as you can, and learn to listen to the other person, and also communicate wholeheartedly. Don't hold anyone back. You can always, me particularly, I have seen some relationships that I've been into, both at work, being a student in school and all of that. I've seen some of my friends, at some point the person might complain about one or two things that I did not do right, because no one is perfect. I will always use thoughts like, okay, when next you see me saying things this way, please call my attention to it. I don't want to say it again. I want to do better. So please call my attention. I might not even know when I'm saying it. If you see me getting angry, just tell me, you see, you are becoming angry. Do you understand? So those kind of open communication will help you to know that there is possibility for you to come out being stronger and building your relationship or your friendship with that person to be more healthy for both of you. And then lastly, but not the least, if the relationship is that kind that is abusive relationship, it is very, very important for you to know that it's difficult for a man to change. And for somebody to change, a man, I mean, is both male and female. It's not like a man. Both male and female, it is difficult for a human being to change. Now, for somebody to change, you have to be willing right from your inside to change. And if you are so finding it difficult that, okay, I don't want to beat this my friend, I don't want to be angry to the point that I will have to scatter my friend's phone, I will have to use my belt and flog my employee, and before you know what's happening, they will resign and all of that. If you want to build on this, and maybe after saying you don't want to, you still end up doing it, you can try going for professional help. Yes. And then you can also try some of the things that we have already explained. But in a situation whereby this is really being so difficult. Like, it is really being so deep, especially if you are the victim, if you are the one receiving all this toxic kind of thing. Please, I'm begging you in the name of God, for your own dear life, it's very important to run from that kind of relationship. Like, flee, because you will be sitting down, you'll be like, okay, he is going to change, she's going to change. Tomorrow, let me just hold on a little more, let me hold on a little more, and before you know what's happening, things are spoiling. So in a situation whereby this is becoming so much, and seeing alone that this relationship is abusive for you, I really encourage that you have to flee. And then I've seen and heard about situations whereby somebody is in abusive relationship just at the stage of still getting to know each other for marriage, and the person will be like, okay, I will change when we finally get married. If the person did not change before marriage, honestly, the percentage of him or her changing in marriage is very, very slim. So you should be able to consider the value or the reason why you want to stay, and then consider your life also, because I believe that it's only somebody that is alive that can actually be in a relationship. If you're not alive, how can you be? Like, I don't know. So we have come to the end of what we have today, and I really thank you for staying glued with me to this point. Remember to share this our video with your friends. Look for that your friend that might want to listen to this. Share. You never can tell who you are helping and who you are saving. And remember to subscribe to this channel. Here we talk about everything personal development, believing that with this we can grow to do better and do it right in our life next time. Thank you so much, and see you in our next video. Bye bye.